Hello, wrestling fans. Today, we're connecting the haunting lyrics of Nightbird by Marty Amato to the world of WWE wrestling. This is purely speculative, so let's have some fun with it. Marty sings, "The Nightbird calls and shadows creep into my mind, into my sleep." These lines could be interpreted as a reference to Bray Wyatt's character, the Fiend. The Fiend was known for his eerie presence and psychological warfare, much like a nightbird calling in the darkness. She continues, "I do not know if I shall rise or open up these weary eyes." This could be seen as a nod to the uncertainty surrounding Bray Wyatt's character after his tragic passing. The song flows into the withered trees, how they creak and moan, beneath the moon, how the demons groan. This imagery could be linked to the mysterious Uncle Howdy, who was portrayed by Bo Dallas. Uncle Howdy was associated with Bray Wyatt and was known for his chilling appearances. Nightbird continues, "They come to me and pull me down, down into the swamp without a sound." This could be a metaphor for the struggles faced by these characters in the WWE universe. Next up she sings, "I sink once more, just like a stone, the darkness chills me to the bone." These lines could symbolize the hardships and challenges that these characters have faced. Marty sings, "The water's deep, I shall not rise, no more to lift these weary eyes." This could be seen as a metaphor for the depth of their struggles after Bray's passing and the hesitation to continue in his footsteps. Now, here's where things get interesting. There have been hints that Bo Dallas might return as Uncle Howdy. And guess who is speculated to return with? None other than Alexa Bliss. Could the lyrics of Nightbird be hinting at this return?
Sound off. I didn't think that was all I was going to talk about. Let's go more into detail post AI voice, because this is really something interesting. Going more into detail. I'm googling who this Marty Amato is, because you hear the song, it sounds like it's old-fashioned, old school, like something out of the 30s. It's not. It was released in 2019, and Marty Amato. She's actually just a production. She's a writer. She does production. People lease her music. This is literally her bio from her website. She is a Southern California-based principal arranger / producer, composer, and lyricist. Her team and her have created original music for TV, film, advertising, and animation. They do post-scoring and production for artists, songwriters for over 20 years. 20 years. So it's interesting how this is, you know, for everyone like me. Hear it, you think it's something new. You think it's you think it's something old, not something new. But when you find out, like, oh my gosh, this song's like 5 years old. That's wild. And interestingly enough, you Google the day it was released, October 22nd, 2019, and you get a bunch of people talking about total divas. You know, the iconic tweez, Jimmy Uso's gray hair, Ronda Rousey ponders life after WWE, stuff that's not really interesting. But there was Raw the day before. And some interesting thing happened, like the Street Profits debut. So is this a hint that we're going to see Braun Strowman hook up with Uncle Howdy and take on the Street Profits? I don't know. I think that's reading too into it, because that's just October 21st, not October 22nd. The weirdest thing, though, and again, reading too into this, but this is the fun thing to do with these type of internet games and alternate reality games, is if you actually go to WWE's Twitter, what they advertised on October 21st, literally the day before the song came out, was the return of the Firefly Funhouse. So there is that connection there to the Raw the day before, was advertising the return of Bray Wyatt. And then, of course, you know, the internet went wild the next day. So we do have that. And I also want to note that a lot of the lyrics, you know, with the pictures, the AF voice I did, that was kind of a joke. I did really want to talk about this. And it says, "The Nightbird calls and shadows creep." What is a Nightbird? Let me just Google that for a second and see what that actually is, because I think everyone wants to know. What bird is considered a nightbird? Because I know some people said owls and stuff like that, but there is nothing specifically that the Nightbird refers to. So it's interesting. You can read into that so many different ways you want. What really interests me in this song, and you saw it, you know, in the imagery, is how it explicitly talks about down into the swamp, pulled down, you know, shades of Friday the 13th. But the swamp, that's harking back to the OG Wyatts, the Wyatt family. And that's something that I want people to notice, because that's something really interesting, and it could be harkening back to that. I think a lot of the song too, it does connect to the sadness of Wyatt's passing, but I'm just getting a lot of Friday the 13th vibes in here, with the water, stuck under the water, and we all know Bray loved Batman. We know he loved horror, so I think that there could be a reference here to Friday the 13th. I could be reading too into it, like there, but let's go to verse 2. I sink once more. This could also be in reference to, you know, Alexa Bliss sinking once more into the Fiend world, the world of the Fiend. This could all be metaphor, you know. We don't really know exactly how these lyrics connect, just like we didn't know exactly what White Rabbit connected to, but once it happens, I'm sure we all know nowadays. I still don't really know exactly, so if you know in the comments, let me know. But I definitely do see here references that could hark back to Bray Wyatt's career, you know, when he was burned in that house. What do burning houses do? They creak and they moan. And I'm sure he groaned as he was in that house, you know. But the real thing that my eyes keep coming back to is how it says down into the swamp without a sound. I sink again. So maybe we're gonna see some vignettes of Alexa Bliss in some swamp, you know. Maybe some Wild Things aesthetic, some Princess Protection Program aesthetic, and, you know, read into that movie, because that aesthetic is swamp aesthetic, not princess aesthetic. So yeah, I'm hyped for this. I think you're all hyped for this, so sound off in the comments. But please note that Dreadmare is not related to WWE. It is just another fan, just like you, just like me. So do not read into their stuff. You know, take everything with a grain of salt.